Welcome to Digital Marketing Intelligence Ask the Experts, a live bi-weekly show to help you know what to do and what's new in digital marketing for 2021 and beyond. Ask questions, suggest topics, and grow faster with actionable insights and proven strategies from the world's leading experts. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Digital Marketing Intelligence for Entrepreneurs Ask the Experts. I'm Marissa Morgan, today's show host, and I'm also the Business Development Manager at Engage. On behalf of myself and the entire team at Engage, I'm excited to welcome you to today's show because today we're talking about something exciting, something that has changed the world of shopping and e-commerce. And the thing that we're talking about today, maybe you've heard of it. It's called Amazon. And our guest is going to teach us how we can get our products onto Amazon and how we can be successful in selling those products using tools like video, right? Video is an incredible tool right now in the world of e-commerce and digital marketing. And our guest, whom I'll introduce in just a moment, is quite the pioneer in video marketing sales. So I'll be introducing our guest in just a moment. Right now, though, I'm going to do something. I'm actually going to share today's talk to my LinkedIn page. So if you're watching right now live on LinkedIn Live, I'm going to encourage you to do the same thing. Why? Because today we're all about getting engagement, right? We want people to connect with us. We want people to know what we're interested in. So in order to improve engagement on your own LinkedIn page, one thing you can do is share other videos that you find interesting. And I'm going to go ahead and share right now to my LinkedIn page today's video. And you can do that by scrolling down. You'll see a little white arrow. And I'm going to say, join me live right now with our guest, who I'm not even going to reveal his name just yet. I'm going to say, and learn how to rock sales on Amazon. I'm going to share this to my page. Why? Again, because it's a great way to boost engagement on your page. And it's a great way to share with your network what you're interested in. So share our talk to your page right now, and you can invite friends and colleagues to also join in today's talk and bring some questions for our guest. All right, before I introduce you to our guest, I want to share with you quickly what Engage is all about, because Engage produces and sponsors this show every single week. And what Engage is all about is providing to you and other small, medium, large, all kinds of businesses, startups, tools, free forever tools to help you grow and scale your business successfully. And these tools are geared towards optimizing the customer experience. We all know that as customers, we have so many choices out there. And when we have a good experience with a business, we become loyal, right? We make more sales. So our tools at engage.com, that's Ngagge.com, can help you grow and scale your business and also optimize your customer experience. So after today's show, go to engage.com to check out our free forever tools. You can subscribe and use those tools. And you can also invite all of your teammates, your colleagues to also join your team on Engage. And your entire company can operate from our platform, which is cloud-based, to interact with customers, to send emails, to manage your schedule, to, let's see, import all of your contacts into the CRM. So many tools. So I encourage you to check out engage.com after today's show. Also, one more thing I want to mention. Video, we're going to learn today, is an incredible tool for sales. We also know that video is a great way to engage with leads wherever they are. So Engage launched a program about 2 months ago that's going strong, and it's called Engage Live, Ngagge live.com. And it's a way for us to actually help you produce your own live stream. Maybe you need a host for your live stream. You don't know how to interview people, or you need a host, or maybe you just need some help actually producing the show and getting it up and running. I want you to check out engagelive.com after today's show, and we'll teach you a couple different things. We'll teach you how to either do the show yourself and give you the tools that you need to do the show yourself, or we can produce the show for you. We all know that being consistent is the way to be successful. So if you're looking to do a weekly live stream, a monthly live stream, give us a shout at engagelive.com and I'll walk you through a one-on-one conversation and we can get your show up and running. It's a great program and it's a great way, again, to engage with unlimited leads, to get your branding out there. And as we're going to learn from our guest today, video is the number one sales tool right now in digital marketing to connect, to build your brand, and of course, to turn leads into clients or customers. Okay, I know you tuned in not for me, but for today's special guest. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to bring Rick Cesari into the live stream show, Digital Marketing Intelligence for Entrepreneurs. Now, if you don't know Rick Cesari, he's joining us today live from Seattle, Washington. And Rick, I think you should be wearing something from back in the pioneer days, maybe driving a horse and buggy, because you truly are a pioneer in the direct to consumer marketing industry. And Rick has over 25 years. He's worked with some incredible people, some incredible products, and I will name drop in just a moment. He has used direct response strategies plus video marketing to help many iconic brands like the Juice Man, Sonicare. I know you've heard about it. How about the George Foreman Grill? And we all know about OxyClean, right? The Rug Doctor, Momentous Golf, the GoPro camera, so many more. The list is way too long for me to mention in the next hour. So we'll keep it short and sweet. But his strategies have really helped businesses and companies grow from being startups, right, to multi-million and billion-dollar companies. So he has several books, and there's many case studies outlined in one of his books, which is called Simply Building Billion-Dollar Brands. His third book, Video Persuasion, he's holding up the book for those of you watching live. If you're not watching live and you're listening on the podcast, Billion Dollar Brands is a great book that has all those case studies in it. His third book, Video Persuasion, teaches people how to use video to create authentic testimonials to grow their business. We'll learn more about the importance of testimonials, I have a feeling, on today's talk. And his newest book, properly called The Amazon Jungle. And I think that's a great title because it's quite a jungle out there, Rick. I know you'll agree. Shows sellers how to successfully launch products on Amazon. And today he's here to share how to use Amazon, the world's largest and most perilous e-commerce marketplace, to dramatically increase sales. All right, I want you to join in the conversation. I'm live from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Rick is live from Seattle. Drop us a comment. Let us know where you're joining us from. And if you have any questions during today's interactive talk, drop them in the comment section. Rick is here to answer them live and in living color. Rick, on behalf of our team, thank you for joining us today on the Engage Digital Marketing Show, and thanks for being our guest expert.
Hey, great. And thank you, Marissa, for such a great introduction. I really appreciate it. And I know we have a lot of great information to share today, so I'm really looking forward to the podcast.
I'm excited too. And I think what's even more exciting for me is the fact that, the 7 degrees of separation is definitely in full effect because I've worked with some of the people and some of the brands that you represent and have worked with. And we have a lot of mutual connections because you and I both share a passion for video marketing and direct to consumer sales. So it's exciting for me to be able to interview you because I look up to you very much so. You're a mentor to me.
Well, thank you. That's very nice. And one thing I do want to mention, I was listening on your overview about Engage, and I'm definitely going to check out that platform as well as the live streaming because both of those things sound great. I mean, that's what I do day in and day out is help businesses scale, and any help or platform that can help with that is great.
I agree. And our platform has really helped a lot of businesses have really a resource or a home base for all these incredible tools to aid in the consumer experience, right? We all know there's so much competition out there between businesses, and a consumer's experience is one of the defining factors, right? That,
Mhm.
just helps somebody decide, am I going to do business with this company or that company? So we help companies to optimize the customer experience, and our Engage Live program can help either, B2C or B2B companies get their brand out there through this video content piece
Mhm.
of the digital marketing world. So we're really excited. By the way, speaking, I was telling everybody at the start of the show to make sure they share our talk live on LinkedIn. I'm actually going to share it to my Facebook page now too, because I have a feeling, Amazon is something that it's a hot topic. It's a hot company right now. It's making lots of headlines and waves, but whether you're on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Amazon spans all of these social platforms. So I'm excited for hopefully some good questions from our live show today. So I'm going to share this real quick. Before we get into today's talk, Rick, and while I'm sharing this to my Facebook page, would you like to just share with our audience maybe a Cliff Notes kind of version of the path that got you involved in this direct to consumer, this video marketing and video sales world? Because you've been in it for a long time. You're almost like the godfather of direct to consumer marketing. So I'd be interested to hear how that fell into your lap or how you made that happen. Where
Yeah, it
did it start?
definitely wasn't a planned out career. I actually studied biology in college, and my thought process was I was going to be a marine biologist. But after graduating from school, I didn't feel like going on and getting an advanced degree. So I moved back down where I was living in Daytona Beach, Florida, and my mom wasn't too happy about this, but I became a little bit of a bum. I was a bartender and a lifeguard, and my job as a lifeguard was selling suntan lotion. And that was my first exposure to actually doing one on one direct sales. And I learned a lot of valuable lessons from that. But I realized I couldn't do that. I make a career out of doing that. So I got interested in reading books about how people made money. And at the time, and still today, it's true, a lot of people have made a lot of money. A lot of millionaires have become that way by buying real estate. So I started reading a lot of investment books on the ones that were popular at the time were called Nothing Down by Robert Allen and another one by Albert Lowry. And I started going to seminars. And I went to a seminar. There were only 8 people in it. And I went out and did what they said, bought a house, turned around, sold it, made about $12,000 in 2 weeks. And I said, wow, this is amazing. And so I offered to help the person who was putting on the seminar. I called a local business magazine. They did a story about him. And all of a sudden, his seminar business started to do better. And so he called me and said, hey, can you keep helping me? And just to show you the time frame, we were promoting these seminars with newspaper ads. This was pre-internet. So when you talk about I've been doing it for a long time, this was like the mid 80s. And I know I'm dating myself, but that's kind of how I got started in the direct to consumer, going from city to city, putting ads in the newspaper. If
Mhm.
depending on what you said in the ad was good, people would show up. If it wasn't quite right, they wouldn't show up. So it was a lot of trial and error. And then also, these were the first people that started using direct response television or infomercials to promote their seminars. And I was
Mhm.
got in pretty much on the ground floor of that business, learned how to do it with real estate seminars. And then I branched out onto my own and just started doing it. And probably the biggest career break came when I marketed a product called the Juice Man Juicer. And I was always interested in health and nutrition. And that was a product that my brother and I owned. And we were at the right product at the right time with the right marketing. And it grew to $75 million in about 3.5 years. And we were able to sell the business. I thought, I was only 33. I said, I'm going to retire and take some time off. But people started calling me and saying, hey, we'd love to do that kind of marketing for our products. And the first company to call me was a Seattle company called Optiva. They had this new toothbrush, the Sonic Care, having trouble getting it out there because it was very expensive,
Mhm.
$150.
Mhm.
A long form infomercial was the perfect marketing vehicle because you could educate the viewer about what the product did and why the product was worth $150. That was, a great product and also took off. And then from there, just people started. I never really had to go out and do any kind of lead generation. Different businesses just kept bringing me products, and I was very fortunate to work with some great ones that you mentioned earlier.
Well, I love this Cliff Notes version of you because, we talked on a Zoom call before, coming live today. We had a meet and greet and we talked about what we could talk about. But I don't think I knew you wanted to be a marine biologist because that's what I went to school for too. I
Look at
went
us
down to
now.
Eckerd College in St. Petersburg, Florida, except I only lasted 1 semester. And
Yeah.
I said, wow, even though I got an A, I was like, this is so hard. And I talk way too much to be able to, carry on this microscope world and this underwater world because I learned the fish don't talk back.
Oh yeah.
And I changed my degree to international business and marketing. So that's fun. That was really fun to learn about. And um, I love the fact that, you did kind of what I did too, kind of took some time off after school, did a little bartending, said, I'm going to just chill and rest my brain for a minute, have some fun.
Hmm.
And then the minute you thought, hey, maybe I'll retire early because life is good right now, you didn't even get the chance because your reputation started to
Yeah.
supersede you. And the opportunities just kept on coming. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well,
So
listen,
Marissa, I
you've got
know
a fan club, by
yeah,
the way.
Marissa, I know we talked earlier. We have a connection in common here. I didn't mention one of the projects I did. It was after Sonicare. It was after the George Foreman Grill. But the guys who started OxyClean, Joel Apple and Max Apple, who was the dad, came to me to make an infomercial. And they had this unknown pitchman at the time. This is 1996, named Billy Mays, who was really just doing a lot of state fairs, pitching, at booths, things like that.
Right.
And I made Billy's very first infomercial in 1996 for OxyClean, and about 13 more versions after that, while the company was getting up and growing. And that, whenever you do work with a guy like Billy, you learn a lot about how to sell, how to pitch, and I've used a lot of those lessons in some of the shows I've made since then.
Well, and I love that connection because Billy Mays is one of my best friend's cousins. So shout out to Randy if you're watching. And rest in peace. He was a wonderful man. And just the fact that we had that mutual connection. And, I could name drop a few other very prominent people in the direct to consumer world, but it's just really unique. And it does make you realize as many different paths that we take and different things that we do and chances that we take, especially as entrepreneurs, risks that we take. The world is a very small place, right? Be kind,
Mhm.
be respectful to people. My acting teacher always used to say, "You're gonna don't piss off anybody on the way up because you're gonna see them on the way back down." Right. So
It's
this is like
absolutely
the
true.
perfect life lesson that we are really all connected and
Yeah,
another just be kind, right? The world's a crazy place right now and we're all doing our best. So
yeah,
it's just a reminder to just be your best self.
yeah.
So
Well, let me
I
tell
love
you how I got first discovered Amazon, and I'm not discovered it for myself personally.
yes.
I actually
Hey,
did a
Rick, one
podcast.
one quick thing before you get into that, because you've got quite the fan club growing in the comment section.
Oh, okay,
I
great,
want to make sure that I give you all the hellos that you're getting. So Barb Smith says, "Hi, Rick," that she's tuning in.
great.
Black Turk said, "I love those Juice Man spots."
Jack's a
So
great copywriter.
wonderful, Jack. Thank you for tuning into our live show today. And Mike Shell also just shared great information already that you're sharing. Looking forward to today's show.
Yeah, Mike
So,
invented a product, a fitness product that we're going to be marketing soon. You'll hear a lot more about it. It's called the Get Fit Vest.
oh, great.
Yeah.
It sounds like maybe I don't have to do as much work to get fit is
Hmm.
my perception there. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. If you guys have any questions for Rick, drop them in the comment section. Okay, Rick, didn't mean to cut you off, but the comments were growing and I didn't want to leave them unattended. So,
Well,
yeah,
great.
tell us
And
how you
again, if
first.
anyone has any questions along the way, I'd love to answer questions too. But anyway, I first discovered this whole world of Amazon about 4 years ago. I was asked to do a podcast by James Thompson, who also lives up here in Seattle. And James used to work for Amazon. I think he even was instrumental in starting the FBA for Amazon sellers. And he also started something called the Prosper Show, which is the largest show for Amazon sellers in the world, and it's still going strong. So I did this podcast, and I didn't know anything about Amazon, but James asked me to come down and be the keynote speaker at the Prosper Show. And I was nervous because it's like, I don't know anything about this platform. But really, what he wanted me to talk about was how to build your brand or how to build a brand, because what he was seeing from a lot of Amazon sellers was he used to called it a race to the bottom, where people would put a product up, 10 people would bring in a toaster, and the only way they could compete was not that the fact that they were different products, but on price. So
Mhm.
one person would lower the price, and the next person would lower the price, and it was a race to the bottom just to see who could control the buy box. So I went down and I spoke at this conference and shared my experiences in building brands and what I had learned in building some of the brands you mentioned earlier. And I met a guy there named Jason Boyce, and Jason had started selling on Amazon in 2003. Just fortunately, he also lived out in Seattle, and we started meeting at the Issaquah Coffee House once a week. And I would share my brand building and direct to consumer marketing expertise, and he would share his Amazon expertise. And the conversations were so interesting. I said, "Hey, we should write a book together." So that's where this book came, The Amazon Jungle. And and I started learning a lot about Amazon and how powerful a platform is. And your company Engage helps companies scale. I consult with a lot of businesses, and I always tell them they need to be on Amazon as one of their distribution channels. And so I've spent a lot of time helping people get started on Amazon. And it's just such a powerful platform that you have to be there if you're into direct consumer marketing right now.
Well, I couldn't agree more with that last thought, which is why you are literally our guest expert today on this topic of Amazon, because I feel like Amazon is a beast and there's a lot of things we can talk about. But with your background, I think the best thing to do is really get into the how, those first steps, right, to maybe getting a product on Amazon, and then talking about building the brand, and then talking about video. So for those of you watching live, here's a look at what we're going to talk about today. And this is just the beginning. So we may have questions, we may go off topic a little bit, and we're open to that because this is a unique opportunity to talk with Rick. So we're talking about how to use Amazon. It is the world's largest e-commerce marketplace. And we're going to talk about how to get your product on Amazon, right? First and foremost, maybe Rick has some advice, some what to do, what not to do.
Mhm.
We'll talk about some strategies for building a good brand there. We already learned from Rick that lowering the price step by step, watching your competitors and really snowballing yourself to the bottom is not
It's
the
what
way to
not to
do it.
do. Yeah.
Right. And then we'll talk a little bit about advertising and promoting your product on Amazon with video. We all know that right now, video is an invaluable tool to use in any sort of marketing situation, whether you're marketing yourself, your services, your product. So we'll learn a little bit more about that. So, Rick, the big question, and the one that many people are tuning in to learn more about, is how do we even start getting our
Yeah.
product onto
And
Amazon?
actually, that's a great question. And before you think about listing your product, I
Mhm.
think you need to spend a lot of time thinking about what product you're going to market on Amazon, because that really I've found over the last several years is the key to success. And there's one of the reasons we laid it out in our book, The Amazon Jungle. We talk all about product sourcing, product development, and finding a product first, so that you aren't just a Me Too product. Part
Mm.
of building a brand is really how you can differentiate your product from all the other products out there. And what's your I spend a lot of time talking about real basic marketing things like a unique selling proposition. But how is just keep one thought in mind before we talk about listing products is how is your product different than other products out there? And then how are you going to let people know about that? And so if you have a product that's a little bit different, and sometimes it doesn't have to be a brand new invention, a brand new category. We have examples in our book where you can take an existing product. Jason talks about an example where he had a ping pong table and just changed the colors on it, and it made it a different type of product. It'd be successful. But when you get ready to list on Amazon, there's a bunch of different ways to do it. And what I mean is there's the do it yourself way. You can go to Seller Central and open up an Amazon account, and they give you some guidance about what you need to do. But I find when people try to do that, they often get confused. So we could go step by step how to do it, but again, on page 64 of our book, we give you step by step guide of how to launch a product on Amazon. So the other way to do it, and I do this when I'm doing a lot of research. Google how to list a product on Amazon. There's some great videos out there again that take you step by step on how to do it, because there are some tricky steps to getting started. And then the third thing I recommend is work with someone. I do a lot of work with a company called PPC Ninja. They're a high level advertising company, but they teach free masterminds for Amazon sellers that you can get all your questions answered. And you could look them up at ppcninja.com. And then last, I have to give a shout out to my co-author, Jason. He has a very successful Amazon agency, and they'll do everything, soup to nuts for you, where you just really have to provide the product, and they'll take care of the listing, the marketing, everything else. So it runs the whole gauntlet from do it yourself,
Mm-hmm.
by going to Seller Central, up to having someone do the whole thing for you. And everyone is different, so you have to see what matches your personality, what you like to do, and you'll see the best fit for those different ways of getting started.
I love this 100%. So you're saying first and foremost, there's almost like a big stop sign, stop before
Yes.
you even consider getting your product on Amazon. Take a minute and really figure out how your product is different. Why, ask yourself, why would I buy this product? Why would someone be interested in my product? I like that you mentioned the ping pong table example
Hmm.
because I'm a big fan of these HGTV like renovation shows.
Hmm.
And they did an episode where there was this room that was all pink, like not my taste, but whatever floats your boat, pink
Yeah.
cabinets, pink everything.
Yes.
Well, they said, hey, I feel like we should keep with the pink, make it whimsical. Wouldn't it be fun if we made this a fun game room and let's get a pink ping pong table, right?
Hmm.
So they put this pink ping pong table in this room and it just set the room off. And you'd never, something so simple as changing the color of
Yeah.
something that we've become accustomed to being ordinarily green and white or whatever color it is, does completely change a product and makes it now maybe interesting to somebody who otherwise would never have bought a ping pong
Yeah,
table.
the example we use in the book, that's a fantastic example. But Jason talks about that and also an air hockey table, but he's also a car buff. So he saw a Mustang with some really cool racing stripes, and he put racing stripes on this air hockey table. And again, it was made it different than the other things that were out there. And there's all sorts of little things. We go into a lot of detail on it, but the important thing is, before you launch on Amazon, just think about what it is that makes your product different, and why someone would want to buy it. Think in terms of the consumer, is
Always,
the most
yes.
important thing.
Always ask yourself what is the problem you're solving for your consumer and why? Put
Great
yourself in
point.
their shoes. A big shout out, by the way, to Achochi, who's joining us from Africa. He's been tuning into our shows every week. He's currently studying marketing. So, Achochi, thanks for joining us today. If you have any
Absolutely.
questions for Rick, please leave them in the comments section. And then to be helpful to us, he jotted in the comments section, is it ppcninja.com? Is that where we would go for
Yes.
more? Perfect. Achochi, thanks for dropping that in the comments section for everybody viewing. All right. So we've got our product, let's just say. We know how it's different. We have decided basically there's almost 3 avenues you shared, Rick. There's go to Seller Central, learn how to kind of do
Do
everything
it
on
yourself.
Amazon through that. There is tons of guides out there, whether we Google videos, how-to videos, to do it with a little guidance. And then there's also the idea of going with an agency or hiring someone like you to put them in contact or even do it for them, PPC Ninja. So we've got our product. We've figured out the method. Maybe I do want to do it myself with some guidance from Google. Let's
Hmm.
talk about strategies to successfully build our brand on Amazon. How
Okay.
do we become successful at building the brand?
So there's something I learned, and if Jack Turk is listening in, I met him through a Dan Kennedy seminar. Dan Kennedy is kind of one of the gurus of writing a lot of. He wrote a famous book called No BS Direct Marketing, and if you're interested in learning the basics of direct response marketing, I always recommend that book, the No BS Guide. Anyway, Dan has a statement that you don't brand to sell, you sell to brand. And that's kind of an interesting statement. And really, the way I've created brands all these years is getting the product into consumers' hands through selling it. Don't try to build the perfect product. Start getting it out into consumers' hands. They'll start giving you feedback, called a feedback loop. You make improvements to the product as you're going along, but meanwhile, you're making sales, you're generating money, you're helping your business grow. A lot of people make a mistake of spending a lot of money on what they perceive the customer wants before actually getting it into the customer's hands. I'd rather launch it when it's not quite right, get the customer feedback, make the changes to the product, and just keep making it better and better, type of thing. And there's great ways to do that. Through Amazon, you one of the best sources of information is reading the Amazon reviews. The customers are telling you right away, even if there are bad reviews. Actually, I prefer reading the bad reviews because that's the input of the things that you need to make better about your product. And then the good things, like if you see a trend of people saying the same thing about the product, those are some of the marketing things that you emphasize in your marketing messages. So launching a product, generating sales, creating that feedback loop is the way I recommend people to get started building their brand. Amazon hasn't been the best place to build a brand. A lot of your brand building happens off Amazon in your Shopify site and or website. It doesn't have to be a Shopify site. It could be the website that you use to do your regular e-commerce. And that's where it's important to have several things if you're going to build your brand. People want to know either you or your product, the background. That's kind of the about us section. I like to call it like an origin story. And this is one thing where video comes in. You can tell an origin story, but people just don't like to read a lot today. So if you can take your origin story and put it into a 1 minute, a 90-second, maybe a 2-minute video, that tells people right away, who you are, what your product is, what problem it solves, and even why they should buy it from you. And it's a great way to get that information across. And then, people will shop where they're comfortable shopping. So even though they read that on your website, they might still want to buy it on Amazon just because they love the way how fast Amazon delivers. And, if there's an issue, you can return it. So a lot of your branding happens off of Amazon.
So, by the way, Jack is watching. And he says, excellent advice. So thank you so much, Jack. This is interesting. So what I'm hearing, and I like your thought process because I think it's in line with what we do at Engage.
Yes.
The idea that you are not branding to sell, you're selling to brand is what you first, responded with. We did that with our platform when we launched it this past January. We knew there were things that would change. We knew that once people started subscribing and playing around on the platform, that they would have feedback for us. And we have welcomed that from our subscribers. And we've been making changes to the platform all year this year. And we've been getting it ready to basically relaunch again, the newest version this coming January. So I think that that's a really great tip because, as you said, businesses can waste a lot of time trying to quote unquote perfect something. And that time could really be not used that wisely if what they're doing isn't even what the consumer wants. So getting your product out there and getting it in the hands of the consumer to get that feedback is a great way to obviously in a smart way build your brand and really fine tune your product so it is meeting your customers' needs.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me tell you a little bit, and congratulations, because I feel like you launched your platform the exact right way. It's using that consumer feedback, making the changes, making it better, sending it back out there, and that's really the blueprint for how to launch a product. But let's talk a little bit about some of the things you can do on Amazon that can set you apart from the competition. And this brings us into the video aspect. Now, I might have a more critical eye than some people, but if you go and you look at a lot of products on Amazon, first of all, many of them don't have any video at all. Um, Amazon is getting better and better at allowing more video because they know how powerful video is as a sales tool. And Marissa, from your background in direct response TV, home shopping, how powerful video can be as a sales tool. Amazon's recognizing that, so they're making more and more opportunities. But you go to a lot of listings on Amazon, and even though they're allowed to have a product video, there isn't any video there. And sometimes if there is video, there's some of the worst. You've done this a while. There's some of the worst videos you've ever seen. I mean, you watch a video and you're like, what's the point of this product? And so my point is,
I just want to say, it's funny you said that, because I was just on Amazon the other day and I wanted to compare two products.
Mhm.
And one of the products had a video, the other didn't. And the video that was there was so bad. It was like this awful, like poorly lit situation with this product on like a turntable, just like turning around virtually. And there was like some weird music. And I'm like, okay, like I'm glad I just saw a 360-degree view of this product, but I know nothing more about the product than had I just like clicked on it was just one of those things, like, why did you even bother?
Yeah.
But then again, I guess they're trying and they just don't know
Yeah.
how. But
Exactly, and they don't know how, and that's where the direct response marketing comes in, and the direct response video that we've done that's what we've been doing for years and years. Now you have a shorter time frame to tell that story, but you still know how to do it effectively. So very first off, you need a good product video,
mhm.
and while you're shooting this product video, which again tells the person what your product is, what problem it's solving, and then you talk a lot about, you mention the features, but you focus on the benefits to the end users. My favorite saying is, "Features tell, benefits sell." And
Ooh,
so
I
the
like that.
more
Features
the
tell,
more you
benefits
can
sell.
focus on what the benefit is to the end user, the more success you're going to have in selling that product. So let's take an idea that's been very successful in direct response TV. If you ever watch an infomercial and you look at the CTA, and even throughout the show, there's lots and lots of graphic titles calling out the benefits,
Mhm.
hammering home the selling points. So up until a few years ago, you'd see photo images and they would just be, like you mentioned, that one product, they'd be a blank photo. It would be, oh, here's a front view, here's a side view, here's a back view. When you can really use titles to call out the benefits. Let me give you a good example. My friend Jason's agency markets coffee product. I think the brand is Melita. And the very first product image has to be a shot of the product itself. But the very next one, he doesn't even show the coffee maker. Instead, he shows a woman drinking a delicious cup of coffee with a big smile on her face. And that's showing you the benefit of what the coffee machine does. You'll be able to enjoy a nice fresh cup of coffee in the morning. Then he does a good job of using titles to call out the benefits of the coffee machine, almost like the different frames you see on TV, where there's titles calling out the benefits of the product. You do that same thing. So that's one thing that will help your product listings do better. And then adding video is the same way. That'll help. We've done tests where, when I first met Jason, he had a product and he basically was making a video that was like an instruction guide. That's what a lot of people did. They would take the
Mm.
instruction guide and put it up on Amazon. And I said, again, we're talking about a ping pong table and air hockey table. I go, Jason, you have to show a family playing ping pong or a family playing air hockey. And so we did a video shoot, did that. He had a 300% increase in sales because people envision themselves like that family they saw in the photo playing ping pong or playing air hockey. So I'm a big advocate of including people using the product if you can, whether it's in your photos or in your videos as well.
Excellent points. And I loved that you brought up the CTA. And for those of you watching, that means the call to action, just in case you weren't familiar with that acronym.
Mhm.
Because you're right. What did you say? Like
Oh,
features. Wait, what was
features tell, benefits sell. And
yes?
yeah.
Because so many times, whether it's on Amazon or it is on a home shopping network or it is on some sort of infomercial, whenever you get that feeling to buy, it's because whatever they're saying in either place, whatever platform, whatever, that message is resonating with you, the consumer, because you're saying, oh my gosh, yes, like this George Foreman grill is gonna like help it make it easy to like cook healthier, right?
Mhm.
Because all the fats and I am trying to lose weight or whatever it may be, like that message is speaking to you, and that's ultimately why you decide to pull the trigger and buy.
Yeah. Well, let me
So
give you a couple examples, because these are things that we've used to help build these brands. You mentioned the George Foreman grill. So the
yeah.
feature is it's a slanted grill. So big deal, it's slanted. Well, the
Mhm.
benefit is it drains the fat and grease away from your food while it's cooking. And so, from a video perspective, we would put some hamburgers in there. Um, as they were cooking, we'd shoot the front of the grill, the videotape the front of the grill, and show all the fat and the grease coming out. So
Ooh.
the feature is the slope grill. The benefit is it removes the fat and grease from your food as you cook it. The juice machine. One of the reasons we were so successful with the Juice Man juicer is we were up against two companies, Braun and Krups, that were German engineering companies, and they like to brag about stainless steel blade, powerful motors. And we said, if you drink fresh juice, you can have more energy, you can lower cholesterol, you can live longer. These were all things that were backed up in this medical science, from eating fruits and vegetables. So we focused on the benefits of the juice and not the actual machine, and that's why sales exploded.
So again, what you did, it takes us all the way back to the beginning of our talk, which is find out how your product is different than what's out there. And if the product is similar, and it may be, you figure out how one of the features creates a benefit that you can really focus on that might be different from your competitors. In that scenario, you're not focusing on how it's made and the mechanical aspects of it like your competitors were. You're
Yes.
focusing on the benefit of the fresh juice itself.
Yep.
Because if someone's listening to that message and they're hearing your benefits of the health and the wellness and the energy, and then they happen to go to a competitor's brand and they're like, oh, great, it's stainless steel, it's going to last a long time. Let's think really about where we're going to resonate. We're going to resonate with the immediate benefits to our body and our health because that's more emotional as well.
Yep.
There's an
Let me give him
emotional.
one more example, and then we'll move on to how to create a good product video, because
Yeah.
that will help your website. It'll help Amazon. But Sonic Care is a perfect example. Sonic Care, we were having trouble initially marketing that product. It was Sonic technology. It was a $150 toothbrush. And so Sonic technology is the feature. But when the consumer's out there, they have no idea what Sonic technology do for me. So we were able to demonstrate and show that the Sonic technology gave this brush the ability to clean beyond the bristles. And so in our half-hour infomercial, we educated people about gum disease, and it's caused because of bacteria that hides in the nooks and cranny of your teeth. That's why you have to floss. But here's a product now that can clean beyond the reach of the bristles
Mhm.
and basically kill the bacteria that cause gum disease. And we were able to back that up with science and basically feature benefit. And that's if you think along those terms, you'll always have success in marketing your product.
Excellent advice. Excellent strategy. By the way, I'll chime in and say I'm the proud owner of a Sonicare toothbrush, and there is no clean, and I'm not paid for this. There is no clean like a Sonicare clean. I remember
Absolutely.
the first time I used a toothbrush, it made my mouth feel like tingly because of the vibrations. But when I was done, my teeth felt so smooth. And you go, okay, this is worth every penny. And then you tell a friend. So
Yeah. You know
that's
who
what I
else
think too.
said exactly what you just said, almost to the word?
I'm sorry,
Oprah
say that
Winfrey.
again.
I said, you know who else said exactly what you just described the same way with Sonicare? was Oprah Winfrey. She had it on her show as one of her favorite products, and she said, "When I use this, it makes my gums hum." And
Oh,
needless to
totally.
say, they probably sold $1 million worth of product in the next week just based on Oprah's comments.
And I love that show she used to do too. My mom and I would watch it, like Oprah's top 50 things, and then everybody in the audience got one. And I was like, I just want to be in the audience for one of those shows. It was so
Yeah.
exciting. Very, very cool. Okay, well, let's talk about how to make a successful product video. Because I do want to share one quick thing. Something that's changed for me during the pandemic is shopping for clothes. Now, I used to be someone who did most of my shopping for clothes where I could go and try it on.
Yeah.
And since the pandemic, I've actually been buying a lot more clothes online. And I have found a lot of companies do sell really nice stuff on Amazon. And what's nice about Amazon is because of their easy return process, I feel confident enough that I can, if I'm not sure on the size, I'll buy size small and medium,
Hmm.
get them home, try them on, and I know I can pick the size that works and send the size back that doesn't.
Yep.
But in shopping for clothes, I have definitely first-handedly experienced the clothing items with videos showing, as you mentioned, actual humans wearing and moving in the clothes. Those those products in my mind always stand out because I can see how the clothes move. I can see how the clothes fit. I can kind of gauge how heavy or thin the fabric is. There's just so many things I can see in a video of someone wearing the item versus this standstill awful photo of the item just laying on a counter or on a mannequin. So I
Yep.
know for me, video has drastically, pulled me in one direction, or lack of video has pushed me in another direction. So I know it's important on Amazon, especially
Yeah,
for clothes.
absolutely. And you mentioned a good point. I mean, there hasn't been much good about COVID, but one of the things is it probably pushed online shopping 5 years ahead of where it would have been. And anybody that's had an Amazon business or sold products on Amazon, if they could get inventory, because that was another problem, had
Right.
some of their best years. Um, but anyway, so a couple things in making a good product video.
Mhm.
One thing I want to mention to your viewers, and I don't know, I'm not sure how you want to do this, Marissa. They can just email me at rick@rickcesari.com, and I'm
I'll pop
happy to.
that up now, Rick. Yeah, let me
Oh,
pop that
okay.
up now. I have that for everybody. If you want to connect with Rick, you can do so at rickcesari.com, but he is open to sharing his email with you guys as well. And if you're listening on the podcast, it's Rick, RICK, at Rick Cesari, RICKCESARI.com. You can
Yeah, so
connect.
anybody that emails me, thank you for doing that. Anybody that emails me, I'll send you some pretty neat material. There's something called AIDA, attention, interest, desire, and action. It's an old marketing formula, but we show you how to use that to make product videos. And it's about a 5-page download that I'll just send you for free. I also have the 5 keys to building a great brand that I'll also send to people. So anybody that emails me, I'll send you these things that really goes a little bit deeper than we've been talking today. But let's go back to doing a great product video. I like to say that when you're thinking about making a good product video, it's very similar to giving a speech. Now, depending on how much time you have, I learned an old formula for giving a speech. I read a book by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I even took his course when I was in my early 20s. And his formula for giving a speech is tell them what you're going to say it, and then tell them what you said. Now, if you have a lot of time, that's a good formula to use. You introduce your product, you go into detail about it, then you summarize it at the end. But basically, if you want to capture people's attention on a platform like Amazon or even on your own website, you really need to take into consideration these 5 steps. The first 2 steps can be flip flopped, but I either like to introduce the product so people know right away what it is you're talking about, and then what problem that product solves, or what how it can help the end consumer. Now you couldn't flip flop that and say, I'm working. with a company here in Seattle called Pluggable. They're the largest seller of docking stations on Amazon. So what that means is you have these new computers. They don't have a lot of ports. The docking stations give you
Mm.
more ports to plug in monitors. And basically, you can start with a problem. Uh, do you need more ports for your computer? Do you need to plug in more items? So you're asking a question that's basically outlining what the problem is, so that you're capturing people's attention. Now you can take it to a fitness product. Do you want to lose 10 pounds in the next 30 days? Do you want to look better in your clothes? Something that captures the people's attention. Then you can introduce the product as the solution that they're looking for. After you do that, and this is all happening in the first, depending on how much time you have. If it's a 30-second video you're going to show on Amazon, you have to, the first 5 seconds, you're outlining the problem and then introducing the product that solves it. Then it's important to demonstrate the product. You were mentioning the example with clothes and people wearing the clothes and doing something and showing how they fit and moving. Every product can be demonstrated. You just have to sometimes use your imagination on the best demonstration. I also highly recommend, that when you're creating this video, you start off maybe doing a wide shot so you can see everything, but it's really, really important to get close-ups of the product. Really, use that example of George Foreman grill earlier. We had a wide shot showing the entire grill, but then pushed in really tight to show the fat coming off. Almost every product can benefit from establishing a wide shot, then going to a close-up shot to really see the benefits of the product. Then emphasizing, and you can do this even if you don't have VO. A lot of platforms you're seeing videos without voiceover, and you're just getting titles. So call out the benefits of the product with titles, so that people know what it is their benefit is. The bigger the title, the better. I find that when artistic people are making videos, they like to make the titles really small because it looks nice. If you're a real marketer and you want to sell a product, your titles are big so people see exactly what it is. You don't want them to struggle to read it. It's funny. I can watch TV and I can always tell a brand marketer versus a direct response marketer, because a brand marketer will put the order, the URL in the last 5 seconds of the spot, and it's really small. Whereas the direct response marketer, it's up the entire spot and it's really large. Make it easy for people to order your product. And then if you can, not all product videos need to do this, depending on the platform or where you are, but give some people a call to action. A call to action doesn't mean, 3 payments of $19.95. A call to action can be, go to my website to learn more. Go to the buy button to order this product. Go, just something, save 15% if you order today. Just some type of action that you want the person to take, is a good way to end a lot of product videos. And that's going to be different depending on what you want the viewer to do.
So starting our videos with the double P's, which is the product and the problem, and have
Yes.
fun with it. It could go
I like
in a
that. I'm going to
reverse
use
order.
that now, the double P.
The PP.
Yeah.
The product and the problem. And it couldn't go problem product or product problem. Have fun with it. There's no rules, there's no right, there's no wrong, but always make sure that you are prioritizing the time. If you only have 30 seconds, you need to get the product and the problem out in that first 5 seconds, 10 seconds. If you've got a minute or two, you could set it up. You could kind of get the get the consumer interested by creating a scenario, imagine, or what have you. Or how do you feel when you've got that extra 10 pounds of weight, and your clothes don't fit. You have a little more time to play, but it always depends on how much time you have. Then we're talking about demonstrating the product. And everything, as you shared, Rick, can be demonstrated as simple as a ping pong table being played
Hmm.
to as maybe, can you demonstrate clothes? Yes, you put them on a human, have them walk, have them move. Is it a flowy beach dress? Or is it a stiff kind of structured collared shirt for like a job interview? Put those people in those scenarios so that other
Hmm.
people can imagine also where they're wearing that item of clothing. Um, and then you said, let's see, call to action with titles if you don't have voiceover
Oh,
and
no,
don't.
emphasizing the benefits,
Oh, that's right. Emphasizing
or
the
a
benefit.
benefit. It doesn't have to be multiple benefits.
Mhm,
You can call out one main benefit that to the end user, the
mhm.
consumer, the viewer, but do that with a title graphic, so it's really clear what that benefit is.
Don't be afraid. Like you said, the creative people try to make it pretty and fancy and have the colors all match
Hmm.
and not try to be disruptive. We love that word at Engage, being disruptive. Whereas
Yes.
someone who's got that direct to consumer marketing mentality is like, no, make it big, make it bold, make it obvious, right? This
Hmm.
is going to help you increase your blood circulation. These copper compression calf socks, they're going to
Exactly.
keep your body warm at night, help you with your restless leg syndrome, help your heart work easier, whatever. Make it obvious, right? And then let's see, the last thing you said too is also make it easy to order. And that kind of falls in line with those, call to action buttons and telling people, also what's the benefit of buying this today, right now? Because that's what you want. You don't want people to have that video be done and have them think about it for 3 weeks. You want them to watch it and be excited about purchasing now, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
offering something like a discount or more information, or if you buy today, I'm going to give you a free gift. I'm going to give you a second bottle of this supplement or an extra, you know, tray for my Foreman grill. Give them
I'll
an
give you a good
incentive.
example. Here's a call
Yeah.
to action. My video persuasion book, I marked it down on Amazon. It normally, the hardcover is 14.95 and the Kindle is 9.95, but I marked it down for anybody listening on this show. You can get it for 4.99, four
On
dollars and ninety
Amazon
nine
right
cents.
now.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
right now, and it's 320 pages. But the reason it's so long is it's really a how-to manual. There's lots of specific information on making video that sells, and lots of great interviews with people that are using video in their different uh, businesses.
Ready for 4.99. Boom, I'm doing a call to action.
Thank you,
I'm saying
Jim. I
right now,
practice what
boom.
I preach.
There you go. Get Rick's book, Video Persuasion, now on Amazon. Oh, got a little spelling error. Let me fix that for those at four. Only 4.99. That's awesome. Here at the end of the day, we are all looking for tools, right? If you're watching this live stream right now, you're looking for tools. You're looking for help on either how to help build your brand, how to be more successful in branding, how to use these tools like video marketing and opportunities like Amazon to, further increase your sales and sell more product and improve your brand. So tools like Rick's book, like your book, Rick, are excellent for not only just understanding the way to do it, but obviously learning from you with 25 years of experience. I mean, you're sharing with people case studies and examples of exactly how to do it. There's really no questions left to be answered, right?
Mhm. Yeah, and
By the way,
everything I'm talking about, or you and I are talking about today, can apply to the product or business that somebody in the audience is doing right now.
Brian responded on my LinkedIn just now, Brian Eddy, and he says Rick Cesari is a rock star and a legend, the leading expert on direct response TV and marketing.
Well,
So
in this age of Amazon and e-commerce, Brian represents a great fulfillment center, and basically that's something that you have to have if you want to have a successful e-commerce business.
repeat that for me because I was actually just texting him back. Is a successful.
Oh, he represents a company that does fulfillment services
Okay.
for people. So,
Perfect.
which is
Yeah.
obviously, if you're in e-commerce, you have to have that.
Absolutely. Any tips? I mean, we're actually running out of time. I could talk to you all day, Rick. We're just starting to get into the good stuff. But do you have any tips for, making these videos in terms of, like you just said, do you suggest that people seek out a company that does that professionally for maybe these first videos to
Yeah, that's a good question, and it's very similar to the answer I gave with Amazon. You have the ability to do a lot of this yourself. One of the really cool things that's happened over time is the cameras in these little phones have gotten so amazing that if you, again, you can learn by Googling, how to use your phone for to make videos. You have the ability to do it yourself. The thing that I always tell people, if you're going to use your own phone, make sure you have good lighting, because that's the downfall. And if there is any voiceover, make sure you have a good microphone.
Mhm.
So if you have good audio and good lighting, you can do things yourself. There's also a lot of, I've been using, since COVID forced us to, there's a lot of good apps. We used to go out and do testimonial shoots where we would go to a city, we'd rent a house, and then we would schedule a dozen people to come in, and we'd interview one every 45 minutes. Well, with COVID, you can't do that, but there's a lot of online apps that you can use to actually do video interviews that then you can turn into great videos, great testimonials. I have a show on the air right now for a great client. They make mattress toppers. They're called Dormeo. Their website's dormeousa.com. We interviewed every single testimonial in that show. We did remotely. We used an app called riverside.com, and basically recorded the people, and it's TV quality video. And again, you can find a lot of these different apps online that give you the ability to record people, record testimonials online. So that's great. And then I would say, if you have enough sales and enough money, it does make sense at some point to hire a professional firm to come in and make a series of videos. And I'm a big advocate to when you're doing a video shoot, to overshoot and get as much footage as possible, because there's so many ways to multi-purpose your video nowadays. The same video you shoot for your Amazon product, you can use for Facebook ads. Going back to that Dormeo example, they were already successful with sales. We made a half-hour infomercial, but we created enough content where they don't have to do any more video shoots for the next 2 years. I mean, they did it all. And so definitely, if you're going to use an outside firm, a professional firm that you're going to book all day, shoot lots and lots of video that you can then multi-purpose for all different uses as you go forward.
That was an excellent tip. It's like get your money's worth and get all the footage you can.
Mhm.
I've got two questions for you. One just got emailed to me from a gentleman named Fred, and he's asking about unboxing videos. He's been seeing a lot of companies do these unboxing videos online.
Yeah,
Take the
I
product
think
out.
I
What do you
think
think?
they yeah, I'll answer that question. It's a good question. So in my book, I talk about the three most popular types of videos. Um, uh, One is what I call tutorial video, or a
Mhm.
how-to video. And that's pretty much what an unboxing video is. It's like you're getting the product and you're unboxing it. Here's what to expect. People like to see that. I think that should be one video in your arsenal. It's not, to me, it would be probably the third most important. Number one video, and these are statistics from one of the big on, I think, HubSpot. Basically, testimonial videos are the most popular videos online, and I'm a big advocate of taping some testimonials. They're the best sales tool for your product. So a testimonial video, a tutorial or how-to video, which would include that unboxing, and then the third is the product video. And if you have a website and you have those three aspects, you really have all the video you need to successfully sell your product.
I like that. So testimonial, tutorial, and then product videos for a trifecta.
Yep.
For a
And there's a
trifecta.
perfect example how you can get all those in a 1-day video shoot if you're working with a company that does that.
Awesome. I've got what great question, Fred. Thank you for emailing that
Yeah.
in. Thanks for watching our live show with Sir Direct Response Marketing Pioneer Rick. I love it. I've got time for one more question, Rick, and then we'll
Okay.
dive into our Engage News of the Week, which actually is on the topic of e-commerce. So it's right up your alley. So Jack Turk actually wants to know if you have any thoughts on creating a video using your 5-step template for your Amazon book sales page.
Hmm. Any thoughts on oh, I think Jack's asking, why don't I have a video on there? So
Oh,
I
that's funny. So he's saying, "Put your money where your mouth is." Is
yeah,
that what he's
exactly.
doing?
So yes, the answer is I should have one there, and I will make sure that happens. That's a
I
good
think for
point.
you, a testimonial video is really all you need, right?
No,
Somebody who's
absolutely.
read the book and, like, has put your practices into, action and can talk about, how excellent the book was at,
Yeah,
guiding
what's
them
that
through.
old saying? Like the shoemaker's children don't have any shoes. It's like I'm a big video proponent, and I don't use it enough for myself. I'm busy making it for other people all the time. But
Hilarious.
anyway,
By the way, Jack says, "Well, not quite," with a smiley face.
oh, okay.
So wait, Jack, I'm confused now. Are you poking the bear? Are you making fun of Rick for not having a video, or are you suggesting he make a video about the book?
Yep.
Maybe. Not sure. Feel free to clarify that, Jack. I think he was just poking.
Jack's one of the guys I interview. He's one of the because he's a really good direct response copywriter.
Mhm.
And in one of the chapters of my video persuasion book, I interviewed different people at the end of every chapter, and Jack is one of the interviews that I do at the end of that. So if you do need a good direct response copywriter, um, you can just Google Jack Turk.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that connection. Jack, by the way, says, "Is it just a good idea?"
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you can incorporate video in what you're doing, you're going to have more success. And really, it's just one last thing. We've just become so accustomed because of social media,
Mhm.
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, that
Mhm.
we don't, like I said, people don't read anymore. There's actually books on Amazon about the benefit of writing short books, like less than 100 pages, because people
Mhm.
don't like to read. So video is just really a shortcut way of getting your information out there for people, and it's just very effective way to communicate to people and the way people want to receive their information today.
I agree. People want to be shown, not told,
Yes,
right? And video is the way to do that. And we're doing that right here. We do our show twice a week, and it's this great continuing education piece of bringing people together to talk about digital marketing and tools and trends and things that they can do to scale their business. And video marketing is a big part of the digital world right now. And Amazon is a huge piece of the e-commerce pie right now. By the way, Jack says perfect. So
great.
thank you so much for your comments and your interactions with us today, Jack. I've got a sneeze coming on, so let me handle this. Hold on. I
That's
didn't
the
want to
only
mute my
problem. That's the
mic
only
because
problem with a live show.
right? I felt the sneeze. At least it happened. It's the worst when you feel a sneeze and then it's not there. Well, listen, Rick, you've been an incredible guest. Thank you so much for sharing so many wonderful insights with us, some how to's, some advice, some what not to do, some advice also just on building a brand and those first initial steps when you're considering Amazon. I shared it earlier, but I do want to share it again for our audience, if they'd like to connect with you, Rick, you guys can connect with Rick on LinkedIn first and foremost. And whether you're watching us live or you've caught a replay of this show on LinkedIn or through a webinar, or you're in our live show library watching the replay of this show, you can connect with Rick, and his spelling is going to be Rick, Rick, last name Cesari, Cesari. Connect with him on LinkedIn, drop him a note, let him know you saw the Engage Digital Marketing show, and let him know what you thought about the show. And definitely check out his books on Amazon. You can also visit his website, rickcesari.com. And I know Achochi said he's going to email you. He left us a comment in the
Good.
comment section for all of your marketing materials. I went through them. They're so helpful, easy to
Hmm.
understand. Rick has some really great guides he's willing to share with you, not only on branding, but he has templates on how to invite people to do, a testimonial video with you. Really good stuff. And you can email him at rickcesari.com. And again, the spelling for Rick's name, if you're listening on the podcast, is RickCesari, and it's rickcesari.com. All right, Rick, time for our Engage Digital Marketing News of the Week. I want you to stay with me. We'll just talk about this for a quick 30 seconds, but it's
Okay.
totally e-commerce related. So I want
Okay.
your feedback. So through TikTok now, brands have found a creative outlet to drive sales and make real connections with new audiences. And we know this. There's tons of brands that are being promoted, right, on TikTok. So TikTok just unveiled an expanded partnership with Shopify and is testing TikTok shopping among a select group of Shopify merchants. So, TikTok shopping will bring new features to TikTok that help Shopify merchants create engaging content that sends consumers to their online store for checkout, making it easier for people to explore and buy products that they discover on TikTok. So basically, now TikTok is partnering with Shopify. So on TikTok, as you products and learn about products and see products promoted, you can basically click through and it'll take you right to Shopify now to make the purchase. What do you think
I
about
think
that?
that's awesome. It's just another avenue for people to sell their product. It's funny, I was doing a presentation last week in Chicago at a show called Retail X, and we were
Mhm.
talking about direct response marketing. And somebody asked me, what about TikTok? And so, to me, any platform where you can basically engage the viewer, create sales, is beneficial to do. And you don't have to be a master of all of them. There's so much opportunity on all the different platforms. But if this comes about as good as it sounds, I think it's worth definitely testing as another avenue for marketing your product, especially because it's video centered, like we've been
Mhm.
talking about all day. So I'm excited to test it out with one of my clients.
Awesome. I had a feeling you'd like that Engage News of the Week because it ties
Mhm.
right into what we're talking about. So
Absolutely.
thanks for sharing your thoughts on that. And again, thank you so much for joining us today. We are so lucky to have wonderful guests each week on our show, but I like that every guest we bring on really brings a new flavor to a topic or brings expertise that is unique. And I do think that your 25 plus years in the direct to consumer world really does make you a true expert in this category of video marketing, video sales, and obviously Amazon. So, really quick for our audience, I just want to go through three of your books in case they want to find them on Amazon. So, we have Building Billion Dollar Brands. You can find that. Is that currently available on Amazon, Rick?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. Building Billion Dollar Brands first. Then we've also got Video Persuasion. Bam. And that one right now you can get on Amazon for literally $4.99. So check that out.
Yep.
And also the Amazon Jungle, which really gets into a lot of the meat and potatoes that we talked about today. So
Yeah, this is if you want to sell on Amazon, this is a step-by-step guide to tell
awesome. And
everything
Christmas
you
is
need to
literally
do.
right around the corner. If you know somebody in your life, or this is also a great gift idea. Give them the power of knowledge and understanding, because as we learned, it is quite a jungle, and any help on the way, I'm sure, will make you more successful than struggling and trying to just do it all on your own with trial and error, right?
Mhm.
Well, my goodness, I really could talk to you all day, but unfortunately, I don't have, the time slotted from Engage. And I think
Yep.
our audience is so blessed and thankful for all the information you've shared. So thank you again so much, Rick, for your time today.
Thank you, Marissa. It's been really just fantastic speaking with you. It's been great. Like you said, I could go on all day. So maybe we'll get a chance to do it again in the
I was going to
future.
say, our next series will kind of focus on startup companies. We'll be doing that this fall and winter as we kind of wrap up our first year of our show. So yeah, let's brainstorm a different avenue of this world, and we'll have you back for another show. That would
You
be
have a great
awesome.
case study for the startup. We talk about GoPro going from 0 sales to 1 billion in 8 years.
I love that. Let's do that. I'm going to mark you down
All
on my
right.
calendar sometime November, December. By the way, Rick, I'm going to share this with you and the audience quickly. Rick's show is going to live in our live show library after this week. You'll be able to find his show there. He'll be with so many other incredible guests and great company there. And you can find the replay of this show starting next week after the holiday weekend. It's going to be engage.com/live-show-library. So that's a great place to go to see Rick and visit and see some of our other previous shows as well. And we love that, your show will live there. By the way, tons of people are saying thank you. Achochi says, thanks, Marissa and Rick and the entire team.
That's awesome.
Achochi, you're very welcome. And it was Achochi, by the way, who shared he would be emailing you, Rick, for those
Okay,
resources.
great. I'll
And
get
he
his
says
stuff
thank
out
you.
this morning.
Awesome. Well, listen, I'm going to let you go, Rick. Hang in the waiting room, and I'm just going to say goodbye to our audience. So thank you again so
Okay.
much for joining us, and I'll speak with you in just a moment.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you.
You guys, Rick was amazing. Talk about so much knowledge and so much wisdom in this field. Please email him, rick@rickcesari.com. He's willing to share so many resources with you guys when it comes to video marketing and direct to consumer and Amazon. And don't forget to pick up his books. You can find all of his books on Amazon as well. This is it for me, you guys. We had an awesome week this week, 2 incredible guests as always, and we're all going to kick off this holiday Labor Day weekend together. Before I let you go, though, just a reminder to check out our company page on LinkedIn if you haven't. Give us a follow. We're building our following on LinkedIn, and we'd love for you to follow us there. Our logo is a rainbow colored cog, and you spell our company NGAGGE. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn as well if you have topic suggestions for future shows. Maybe you know somebody who would make a great guest. You can connect with me on LinkedIn at the Marissa Morgan. And my email is marissa.m@engage.com. You guys, that is it for today. I want to invite you back here after the holiday weekend on Wednesday, September 8th at 11 a.m. Eastern. Our guest expert is an award-winning CEO, also a best-selling author. His name is Richard Weilman, and he'll be with me he'll join with me to discuss the importance of brand building and sales adaptation since COVID, how things have changed, and he'll share with us some actionable takeaways and insights on that topic. So join me next Wednesday. And in the meantime, have an excellent holiday weekend. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Thanks again. And don't forget to connect with myself and with our guest, Rick Cesari, on LinkedIn. See you all soon.